Hello, everyone, and welcome to ROKStudios. I'm Stan Miller. I'm PR and Analyst Relations Manager for Rockwell Automation in the EMEA region, and I'm joined today by Davide Furini. He is Area Sales Manager for CT Pack. Davide, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much for inviting us, me, and especially me here. So we are very happy to be here and discuss with you about the packaging industry.
Fantastic. Davide, today we're here to talk a little bit about designing resilient machine performance across the life cycle. This is a great topic, but before we get into it, could you tell us just a little bit about your company?
Yeah. So I'm part of CityPack, that is an OEM, okay, so manufacturer and supplier for packaging machinery, of course, around the world. So we are an international company, so based in Italy. Headquarters is there, but I mean we have also some subsidiaries around the world in order to serve the whole world, I would say. And we are specialized, especially in complete lines, packaging lines, across several markets, but I would say more focused on ice cream, frozen food, bakery snacks, and chocolate markets.
That's perfect context, and I can't wait because you're bringing a global perspective to our discussion. So let's get started.
Yep.
Across the machine life cycle, OEMs are facing increasing pressure to deliver faster commissioning, higher performance, and ongoing service value. How is this changing the way machine builders approach system design and integration today?
Yeah, of course, considering whatever is happening now today around the world, around us, these are, of course, challenges that in the past was also present, I would say, but today are making a lot of pressure to all of us, not only OEMs, final customers for us, and also consumers, and also, let's say, our sub-suppliers. So in order to reduce some, let's say, impacts in the strategies of our customers, we are, of course, focusing on the design part of our equipment in order to make them simpler. Okay, so today our customer is asking always to make simple things, and is also what CityPack, I mean, is strong of. And is, let's say, how to design the machine is not only simpler, but also help it to by the artificial intelligence, okay, making a poke system so easier to maintain the machinery. So that's how we try to squeeze the design time, so the time to market for our equipment. For the performance as well, there are some aspects that artificial intelligence, poke data collection system, so a lot of instruments we have that maybe we'll enter a little bit in the details later, support the customers in order to be very reactive, okay, to the market.
That's excellent, and I think you've set us up really well for my next question. Let's talk a little bit about workforce challenges because you mentioned simplification, and I think this has a connection to workforce. Our understanding, workforce challenges are influencing how machines are designed and operated. What trends are you seeing in simplifying machine interaction, and how are OEMs embedding usability into equipment to reduce dependency on that specialized expertise?
The workforce issue, I would say, okay, is present since maybe many years. Of course, whatever happened in the last 6 years, at least, I would say, has heavily impacted this aspect. And the workforce is not only availability of technicians and skilled, especially technicians, but is also a problem of retention for company. So you find one, but then maybe a few years is moving out. So in order to, let's say, support our customers on this, let's call it problem, okay? We are utilizing a lot of utilities in our equipment, from artificial intelligence, robotics, cobots, that supports even the, I would say, the supply of the raw material, okay, to our equipment, equipment that all the manufacturers are producing. So we have seen that the interest for these aspects are more and more increasing. And all the tools like even poke so tools in order to reduce, the make errors for operators and maintenance people when maintaining and operating the machines. Let's say auto troubleshooting of the machine. So all these instruments are already available since few years, But now the push from our customer requesting the integration in the machinery, it's at the very top.
That's really interesting. Davide, as machines become more connected, data is becoming even more central to performance and maintenance strategies. How are OEMs thinking about things like data collection, accessibility, and system integration across the life cycle? And what impact is that having on operational decision making?
Data collection has been a focus, I would say, since at least the last 10 years. Okay, but since up to now, I would say, there were some constraints, okay, for the full integration from our side and with our customers because of data protection as well. So the risk is, for the thought that for our customers is to not being protected and the property information to be shared for the rest of the world. Today, I would say that also data protection increased a lot, so the instruments improved heavily in the last 10 years, and customers now are more confident of their protection. At the same time, everyone know, even in the real life, that information is power. Even data collection for all aspects of the machine, thanks to IO-Link sensors, for example, and artificial intelligence, the good aspect, about the thinking and not only collection, but also elaboration of the data in order to make suggestions to operators, to maintenance people, and so on, is exploding right now. And this is also not only giving, let's say, market advantage in terms of rapidity of information, data on how the market is going, but also for OEMs like us, is providing a lot of information in order to be fast and reactive to solve even the potential issues.
That's take my couple of takeaways from there. Certainly, security is an important thing when we're talking about data, and then also getting to the right data in order for those customers to make the right decisions, if I'm understanding correctly.
Correct.
Let's talk a little bit about sustainability. Our understanding, sustainability is no longer an afterthought, that it's shaping requirements from the beginning. Whether that's how materials, flexible materials, energy efficiency, and even system design evolving to customers' sustainability expectations. Can you share your thoughts on how sustainability is influencing your engagement with customers in the market?
Yeah, sustainability is not anymore just a marketing for companies, but today is let's say there are some governments, a lot of governments, especially in Europe, I would say, but spreading even already in the world, talking about energy issue, electricity prices. So of course, OEMs like us needs to support our customer for the energy perspective. We saw new motors that have the same performance or improved performance, but the consumption of electricity reduced. This is one aspect, okay, for us. But the second aspect, very important, is also the raw materials. So also, as you know, the European Union is pushing a lot, okay, in the transition from plastics to paper or recyclable materials. So for all OEMs is now very, very important to collaborate not only with our customers, so receiving the information, I want to do this, let's try to work on it, but also to anticipate the needs, working also with the material suppliers in order to, let's say, have a joint collaboration that involves all the players in the market and deliver, let's say, also a competitive, okay, because as I said at the beginning, is not only marketing right now, but having low cost on the raw materials and also a sustainability program. It's providing a market real advantage let's say, for every company.
That's a great point. Davide, last question for you. Remote access, predictive maintenance, and AI-driven capabilities, you've touched on AI a bit, they're becoming more prominent, right, across these industrial environments. Looking ahead, how do you see autonomous functions and remote services influencing machine design and OEM service models?
Thank you for the question. Actually, this aspect is, let's say, not the future. Okay, so it's already something that our customers are asking to be embedded in our equipment. Especially remote support, let's say, is a standard. It's not anymore an optional or something that requires some additions to the equipment. It's considered really the basic function of the machine. Because, as we talked before, workforce issues, so be rapid in the interventions, remote support, as I said, it's mandatory. Autonomous function as well has to work a little bit with the workforce as well. So having now AGVs, cobots, let's say, working very close to our machines in order to deliver raw materials, for example, just give an example, the exchange of the material supply of a flow wrapper machine. So of course, the market is still introduced to this one because require a lot of investment for the companies. But the autonomous function, like also AI, we talked about before, thanks to the predictive approach that they have, the learning approach that they have, can support the customers in order to be very competitive in pricing, but also in performance and giving reliability of the performance along the next 10, 20 years.
Davide, this has been a great discussion. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us in the studio today.
Thank you very much and hope to see you soon for the next one.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about industrial automation and digital transformation, visit rockwellautomation.com.